And then if there's anything you don't like and you want us just like not ask or whatever, we'll just cut it out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no worries.
yeah, thanks for reaching out. Super appreciate it. I just want to know first off, how's your shoulder doing after the Houston game?
Yeah, it's good. It was really painful when it was out, but the orthopedic surgeon was able to come in and put it back in. It was about like 3 or 4 minutes after it was dislocated, and then since then it's really just like improved day to day, and now it's just about back to more normal. I can't lift weights still as much as I'd like, but when it comes to being on the field, I'm starting to get more and more comfortable with it.
Okay, that's good. So one thing that we always hear about as fans is just like how close of like a family San Jose has become, especially in these last couple of years under Almeida. And you're actually someone who played with their family member, your brother Tanner. You even left high school a year early to go play with him. What brings this squad so close together compared to other ones?
Yeah, it's just the way Matthias has implemented the culture that he's created. You know, I think he's just got a system that he does. You know, wherever he is, and it starts with little things like having team barbecues and inviting families, and the way he tells stories, and just the way he brings people together regardless of the background is something I've never seen before. And I remember it started with his team barbecues back in 2019, and then since then it's just developed to where guys go out of their way to see each other, um, even on their own. Even without Matthias or any of the coaching staff, we had a team barbecue. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it's rare for guys to choose to spend some of their free time with each other, because obviously we see each other so much,
Yeah.
uh, just through training. So it just shows guys just really have a good relationship and a good rapport, and it starts with just Matthias's influence.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and going off of that, I think we can see how close you guys are, like on the field. So the squad, for example, it seems like you guys love these comebacks in the last 15 minutes or so. The last 5 out of 10 goals you guys have scored have been in the final 15 minutes of the match. Like, what inspires that Goonies never say die style of play?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just our ability to wear teams down, and I think our depth contributes to it as well. Where having guys like Wando or Shea come off the bench is huge for us. So the guys that start the game, our goal is to always control the game, keep possession, and create as many opportunities as we can. But sometimes it takes time to wear teams down, and so to have guys like Wando and Shea come off the bench is just it's just like a 1-2 punch, where it's difficult for teams to stop.
Yeah, those two goals he scored in Utah were crazy in the
Yeah.
80th minute over. That was a crazy game to watch. And
Yeah,
go
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's crazy. And kind of in a more fun question. So, like for example, in the NBA, every player talks about their welcome to the league moment, right? A moment where you're just growing up being the best player on the team, and then you enter the professional league, and you have this moment where you're like, oh wow, this is the professional level, like, and you feel like you got exposed or something, but then you just keep going and getting acclimated to the professional league. Did you ever have a moment like that? And if so, can you remember it?
Um, that's a good question. I think because I came into the league as an 18-year-old. So I was so young. I was so naive, and I had so much to learn. I think I was actually unaware of a lot of the dynamics that I'm now aware of. So when it comes like my rookie year, I guess you could say in Portland, I remember I was starting. It was maybe my like fourth or fifth start. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that's a good question. I haven't heard that question actually asked, and it's bringing me all the way back to 2014. But now that I think about it, it was two different games. It was against Portland, when Diego Chara was marking me, and I couldn't believe it. Like, because I was comfortable with my feet. I was comfortable with receiving the ball with my back turned. But with him, it's just a different level. Like the intensity that he defends you, and his ability to just poke the ball away from you, and to also just show up out of nowhere. And I remember there's a couple times where I received the ball thinking that I could turn and I'll be all right, and he just came in and just cracked me. And I'm like, wow, this is a different level. And so it was with him, and that was in Portland. And they have such a good atmosphere, so that was pretty eye opening. And then it was also actually against LA. Why am I blanking on his I think it's Omar Gonzalez.
Oh,
It's a big
When
boy.
he was playing, he's at
He's a
Toronto
big boy.
now, but when he was playing at LA in his prime, I remember I was playing as a forward, and there's a couple different times where people were playing me the ball, and I was trying to post up on him, and his legs were the size of like my whole body. So he was just poking the ball away like every time. I was like, man, okay, I got to figure something else out. Like the level of defending is just different, and it's just something you got to get adjusted to.
Yeah, and so when, like, obviously in the moment you're kind of a little, flustered maybe, but then how do you react to that after the game? Like when you're watching back the game and you look at those moments, like how do you respond? Like how do you think, oh, I have to make this adjustment here? Like what did you do personally after those moments?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to be patient with yourself and to not get too high or too low. Like back my rookie year when I was 18, I think I had like 9 starts or something like that. Played in like almost maybe around half the games, and so there's a lot of hype around me, and people were talking about like me playing with the national team potentially, and in my future in San Jose. And I think it's really important for young players just to stay grounded and to not let anyone else write your script, because then the next year came and I didn't play very much at all. And so not being too high on yourself when things are going your way, and not being too low on yourself when things aren't going your way, I think is one of the most important things for young players especially. And that's something I learned very early on, and thankfully my dad played professionally, so I think he helped me with that as well. So I was just always patient with myself, and gave myself time to grow and time to figure it out. And eventually, things started to click, and I started to learn all different types of positions. And now I think I've played around like 150 games or something for the Quake. So it's been a good ride so far.
Is that something you've seen with Cade and you've been trying to like relay back to him?
Yeah, like, but I think our coaching staff does a really good job managing younger players, and I think they do a great job of just treating him the exact same. Like before he even played for us, they treat him with respect, and they just like communicated him in a way that like, just give yourself time. And sure enough, now he was MLS Player of the Week, just doing really big things for us. And just it still feels in the locker room like that he's the same kid that he was back when he signed 2 years ago when he was 15. And I think our coach just creates a really healthy environment to where he doesn't feel like he needs to meet any of these expectations that people are putting on him, online. It's just like when he comes into the locker room, he's just in a safe place. And I think it's really healthy. And I'm really happy for him. But he's got some gifts that I never had. That's for sure. I mean, his speed, his strength, it's incredible. He's a special talent, and I'm excited for him.
One aspect of the game that's not really like highlighted because it's not the most fun is just how terrible the away games can be, and just how boring it is sitting in the hotel room for you guys. With the new COVID-19 restrictions, I assume you probably don't get to walk around the city as much. How has that really affected that?
Yeah, it's been really tough, and uh, yeah, I think it hasn't been highlighted at all, because I mean, at the end of the day, I like to remind myself that everyone has had their own struggles. So I don't like to 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 throw myself too much of a pity party, but it definitely is really difficult because it's not just the combination of the time spent in hotel rooms. It's just also when we were going out to stadiums and they were just empty. You know, our friends in different cities were never able to come. Our family wasn't able to come to San Jose, and just we had no type of human interaction because we were all so concerned about bringing the virus to the team. It was brutal. It's just a lot of paranoia, but you know, it was just good to be at the same time. It was great to be back up to the field, and that was something we kept telling ourselves. So it was tough, but now I think we've really turned the corner. A lot of the guys are almost fully vaccinated, so I think the worst has passed. But yeah, there's no doubt that that was a really lonely period for a lot of everyone, but I think pro players especially.
Mm-hmm. Back to the earlier point you're making about Cade just being like a special talent. You're someone who's really got to see U.S. soccer as a whole really go through two different transitional periods. Because it used to be we want the big and the fast guys, and then like Shea Salinas, and then you started to come around, someone who's not maybe as tall but very crafty on the ball, creative, and now we're starting to see a new generation of player who's both like Cade, who's built like a Greek god, but yet has all these technical abilities and all the speed. So what's that been like? How's that been received by players in the league?
Yeah, it's been interesting because I think it's not just U.S. soccer; it's Major League Soccer as well. I think Major League Soccer's really gone through a healthy transition to where it's it's just continuing to develop. It's continuing to bring in players in their prime or younger players about to hit their prime, whether it's from Central America or South America or from Europe. And I think just the level just continues to improve on the player side as well as the coaching side. Bringing in coaches like Matias Almeida or Tata Martino, I think it just creates these teams that are fun to watch, and I've really enjoyed being a part of it because I think earlier on in my career it was a different MLS had a different look. It's very very traditional. There's a lot of long ball, and it was sometimes it felt like coaches were just playing to not lose, But I think bringing in some of the Latin flair has really just made the league more entertaining, and it's the same that goes for some of the European coaches that have had a lot of success as well. And then it's also good to see the American coaches like Schmetzer and Peter Vermees continue to do what they have done. They've been able to adapt through each phase, which has been fun to watch as well. But I'm happy about it. I'm really happy with the growth of the league and soccer in this country, and I think we're headed to some special places for sure. And I think that'll culminate in the coming World Cups.
Yeah. One thing I'm just like super curious about is I noticed after the games that players that didn't play or players that kind of just got subbed on are like subjugated to like a fitness test. I was just wondering what Guido's got you guys doing.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough on us. But we usually just run sprints, and it's not nearly as hard as what he'd have us do in preseason. But
Yeah.
we do like a sprint workout after the games to make sure we're staying in good shape, even if we don't play. And then we also go into the gym afterward and do a nice workout. It's good. It's a good little workout, 9:30 to like 10 p.m. and then you go home and then you can rest. So
Yeah.
so it's good, but that's what you sign up for in this industry.
Now, that's like the second thing you kind of mentioned that a lot of people don't get to see because everyone sees the fame and the glory of being a professional athlete, but they don't see those late night workouts or the lonely nights in the hotel. Is there something else you've kind of seen, or now that's like your 8th year, you've really been adept to, man, I didn't think about this before signing?
Yeah, I mean, like challenges that athletes face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one is obviously us not getting weekends at all, throughout the entire season, basically, which will run from January to November or even December sometimes. And I think people don't really realize like how impactful that can be. And I'm not complaining. Like I've consciously made the decision because I love soccer. I love
Mm-hmm.
being a pro soccer player, and I'll make all the sacrifices I need to. But the reality is we got a game, just about every week, sometimes 2 times a week. So our Friday nights and our Saturday nights are very soccer oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And what's difficult is, sometimes there's weddings that you want to go to, or, just like basic vacations that, people spend there. Like that makes people's years in the regular workforce sometimes. And that's something that we never get. But fortunately for us, we get to do what we love Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
And eventually we do get some time off on Sundays, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that is a big challenge. Like even just last weekend, my family was at my cousin's wedding, and it wasn't even a thought for me to be able to go. Like like they always knew like I was gonna have a game that Saturday night, and it's just like my whole family's there, but everyone just knows like, oh, Tommy's not gonna be able to make it, and I'm used to it, and it's something that I'm totally willing to make the sacrifice for. But I think that is another thing that people don't realize about pro athletes is, there is a lot of sacrifices, and that I think mostly comes with like those, those family vacations, or those vacations with friends, or those weddings, or the birthdays. That's something that soccer takes priority. And like I said, I made that choice, and I'm happy about it, but it is challenging sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, so we have a couple quick fire questions we wanted to just run by you. Just speed round. So
Yeah, no worries.
let's just say the MLS were to change the first tiebreaker to a 4x100 meter race. Who's the first guy in the squad you're choosing that you want to be in that race, and who is the absolute last guy you want racing?
Kade for sure is the first one, and the last one, oh, that's a tough one. The last one, uh, maybe Guido.
Okay.
That's funny. All right. So then on a game day, who are you looking at for the best drip, and who are you looking at for a laugh because they think they've got style, right? Like who's best and the worst?
Yeah, Jackson's coming in with some drip for sure. Jackson's got some good style. I like Andy Rios' style. I like Christian's style. Jacob is someone that's gonna be coming in sometimes in some like sweat shorts or something. I'd say Jacob Ackenridge is a question mark sometimes. But when he wants to dress well, he can dress well. That's for sure.
Okay. We've heard how when goals are scored, you are in the danger zone if you're near Wondolowski. Do you have any encounters or stories of that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's most dangerous when you give him an assist, and I've given him a number of assists. So as soon as I cross that ball and I see he gets on the end of it, I got my guard up, ready to take the hit. There's one time that he hit me so hard he just tackled me straight to the ground. But it was it's good though. It's just his passion. He's just got an incredible passion for the game.
Yeah. So another question: the Quakes are known for handing it over to their fans to make noise, whether it be like chants or giant drums around the stadium, right? But on an alternative note, who are the first and last people in the locker room you want to play music before the game? Who's getting the aux and who's definitely not playing music? Who's not allowed to?
I'm the DJ, so
Okay.
I'm the one that's usually on the music, because I got the mix between the reggaeton and the current pop and hip hop. So I'm usually on it, but I usually get concerned maybe if like Florian Youngworth gets on it, or Daniel Vega puts on some good stuff, but he could be a question mark as well.
Okay. And then I actually have a photo here for you. I'll pull it up on the Zoom for us. All right.
There you go. It should work.
Do you see these 3 photos right here?
Yeah.
So one thing that's really, sorry. Kevin De Bruyne and Zinchenko have been create a meme for being called identical brothers. However, I kind of noticed something about a season or two ago that I don't know why the MLS hasn't really gone on. There's another lethal midfield and fullback combo that's not been appreciated. Has this ever been brought up in the locker room that you and Yule look pretty similar?
Yeah, absolutely. My parents always tell me that. But now the main focus, since I got some longer hair, the main focus has been on flow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have gotten the Yule confusion on the field where people can't quite figure out who's who.
Yeah. And then we have one last final question for you. It's a little bit of a statement too. First off, thank you for all your time. Super appreciate it. Um, One thing that really goes underappreciated is your work helping in the local communities, whether it's going to schools or local clubs like Ballistic United with skill challenges, or even helping two kids that are in college with their podcast. So we would like to know if there is a skill challenge that you could challenge for us, or something that you would want us to do to help in our local community beyond the CDC COVID protocols, just to help pay forward the good deed.
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I did a lot of the COVID skills challenges back when COVID first hit, from like March to really to August. I was running a lot of Zoom sessions and just trying to keep kids moving, because I think everyone was kind of at a standstill for at least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of it. There's some cool videos of me sending out some challenges, and just like it was just hundreds of kids replicating the exercises, and so they'd work on their ball skills, submit the video, and then I was able to put together like hundreds of different clips of guys doing the same tricks across the country. So I would say to do that, but that time has passed. It's good to see that a lot of kids are getting back to their teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think doing what you guys are doing, it was cool to see, like right when I logged in, that you guys had the professional earthquake setup with the jersey hat, the scarves. I think, and that's why I take the time, whether it's like a random DM or like the video you posted of you waiting for me to reply, like that. It's funny, and it just shows that people care. And I think that's something that, like, I want people to be entertained by what players are doing in the MLS, and for guys like you to get behind the players and really be interested and want to hear from us. I think that's important. So I would just, my way to pay it forward for you guys is just to keep doing what you're doing, spread the love for the game, keep talking about the Quakes, whether it's good or bad. Obviously if it's bad, I'll probably stop listening, but I think it's good. And that's what people don't understand, is like, I would much rather have people care enough to talk badly than the people that just like don't even pay attention. So we appreciate you guys, especially the guys that talk, that support us really through the good and the bad. So yeah, if you guys just keep doing that, and just try to bring in more and more fans to the stadium when people are allowed, and just make it loud for us, because I think it really makes a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll get a Thompson jersey up here soon.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, man. It really means the world to us. Is there anything else you want to say, or?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. Happy to see you guys are taking this podcast seriously with the Quakes. Love people that are spreading the love for the game. That's the number one thing.
Yeah, and thank you so much for just being so involved with the community yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys.
All right. Catch you later, Tommy. Thank you so much.
All right, see you later.